Nick, you got any big plans for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay home and stay in my room all fucking day, and I'm not telling anybody what I'm doing in there. I'm gonna have some stiff socks.
Just slurp it.
No, I'm not like you.
Slurp it till you burp.
No, if you want me to put it in a reservoir, I can chip it over to you.
I think he said he was sick of using socks or something. I don't know. Anyway,
be able to soften a board with one of these socks.
"What's wrong with your socks, Michael?"
They taste delicious, Michael.
Well, okay, gross.
I didn't want my mom to know I was jacking off. So
she ate your socks.
She knows.
She ate my babies.
She always knew.
Well, if you want to know what I'm doing for Valentine's Day, also nothing. Weeping. Just
We're
kidding.
all listening to that.
Slurp.
No. Well, whatever.
Mike's going to be slurping.
No, I gotta work. Wait, what?
You going to be doing that at work,
Saturday?
dude?
No, it's a Tuesday. This is coming out the day after Valentine's Day, so
we're all alone.
Yeah, we're all alone.
I'm fine with it.
No, I'm fine with it too.
Hey guys, it's your favorite final girl and boy, Emily and Nick, and your favorite final babysitter, Mike, coming at you with a new episode of Gag Me with a Knife, a weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher movies. To celebrate Valentine's Day, let's crack a Molson and get into 1981.
Moosehead.
Oh yeah, it's Moosehead. Classic slasher, My Bloody Valentine. Emily's got the box.
I'll read it.
It is Moosehead. We just talked about that.
20 years ago, a tragic accident in a mine on St. Valentine's Day took the lives of 5 miners. The disaster occurred while supervisors left their posts to attend the town's annual Valentine's Day dance. Friday the 13th?
No, I don't think that's familiar at all.
Yeah.
Well, the way that they say it.
I bet this came out before Friday.
No, it did. It came out after. But it came out in 81.
Step down.
The only survivor, Harry Warden, was confined to a mental institution after the ordeal. On the disaster's first anniversary, he returned to the town for bloody revenge. That was 19 years ago, and memories have dimmed. Young lovers TJ and Sarah and friend Axel, they're in a love triangle, but okay, are among the townspeople attending another Valentine's Day party. Then a box of Valentine's candy arrives containing an ominous message and a blood-soaked heart. Before the night is over, terror will strike again and again and again.
And again.
1981. Your thoughts, Nick?
Man, I used to not like this movie. I haven't seen it since like right after high school or whatever. I thought it was kind of weak, and I think it was I was getting out of slashers because I had just been watching a lot of them back then. I actually liked it.
Compared to a lot of movies
I thought it was
watched
pretty good
since I joined.
It's been a long time. It's been over 15 years since I've seen this movie.
I will say, okay, I still didn't like it.
It's hilarious.
I don't like it. It was. I liked it a little more than I used to. And I'll also say that the version that we all watched was still the rated R cut of it, because I realized I gave you my VHS copy, and I watched it on VH1. I watched it on HBO.
Behind the X.
I watched it on HBO Max, and I realized after I watched it on HBO Max, underneath it there was like a thing that said extras, where I could watch the extended cut, where it actually put all the stuff back, all the full kills back in. Which I have seen that version, and it does make it better because you actually see. Like where she's spitting out the water and stuff, like you can see it from the front.
I thought that was a good effect. Though.
And all the kills were so heavily edited. I think that it suffers a lot because of that.
I've seen shit with,
but I have seen it where it's put back in, and I'm still not a huge fan. I think
that's on the Amazon.
It's on HBO Max.
But
I think I think that the reason I'm still not a big fan of it is just because it suffers from the same issue that I have with most early slashers, and it's not. I mean, it's just that they take themselves more seriously.
This one has a lot of goof in it.
There is, but not as much. I like
Howard.
I liked
this
it.
one's got the age-old trope of towards like the third act of the movie, just a whole lot of running around.
I mean,
and not a lot happening. A lot of these movies have this.
I did the scene.
Right?
Well, not really. It's just it's like the scene in the mine. It's like we've seen so many of them where it's like they're running around this dark school for like
I like the
10 minutes and nothing's happening.
Scary.
Well, now I'm gonna say that. My feelings about slashers and like the timing of when certain ones came out is very, very different than most people. Most people like this era of slashers because they're better made. They did well at the box office because of that. They were more serious, but I like it when they were just like, slashers are going out, so let's fuck it and like just fucking have a party with this, and it's gonna be dumb.
Yeah.
But so I understand that's why I'm gonna it rates lower for me.
I think I like both.
But I think it's better made.
I don't really
than a
like
lot of
everything,
movies.
right?
Yeah,
Except American Mary.
You don't like Scream, so that's sacrilege.
That's Scream.
Yeah.
It's
But
an outlier.
I really think
No,
that's
it's not.
No, it's not.
For me, not liking things.
I really think that I think you watched it way too late.
Well, I've got to watch it because
you're gonna have to watch it again because we're gonna. I'm making you watch the Scream from 1981, which is
punishment.
No, well, the Scream from 1981 is so bad. Eventually you will do it
someday.
But the later on in the year, by the way, we're doing Scream from 1981, which is a horrid movie.
Okay.
I bet it's
and
better
after
than
you watch that, I think you will
Cravens.
love 1986 Scream. But anyway, yeah, so let's go, Mike, whatever.
All right. So it starts out with miners. They're in a mine.
Wait. Kids?
No.
Okay.
MINERS. Guys that work in a mine.
Well, it's surprising that you did it.
My
They still like it when they're all of age.
Hey, kids.
Just kidding.
I'm surprised you liked it.
Like what? I like this movie.
I'm
I
surprised
think
you
it's
liked
fun.
it because all the people were obviously of age.
I like Hollis and Patty.
Hollis is
I
pretty
pay
cool.
to
Hollis
watch-
was cool. I like
I
it. Wait,
pay
so
to
what's the
watch.
fact guy?
I'd pay to watch Hollis and Patty
You
fuck.
know,
Jesus, Mike.
Not
no,
much, but
what was the guy's name that had like the accent kind of reminded me a little bit of Boom, but not as hot.
Wait, he had an
Accent.
accent.
He kind of reminded
A Canadian accent?
No, he
Yeah.
kind of had a little bit of a southern twang.
John?
Maybe.
Was he the one that found the shower girl?
No.
No.
No, he was down there with Hollis at the end.
Howard.
Howard, yeah.
The funny guy that does the
I thought he
He's
was-
not
prank.
funny at all, but yes.
Okay, I
He's
thought,
the Screech,
I thought
though.
I thought that he was gonna be the fighter fuck for Nick.
Oh, yeah?
I saw
no,
Howard
no.
as the fighter fuck
He
guy.
reminded me of
His
the
lame ass-
red-haired guy in Fall Break.
Lanyard guy.
Red-haired
Oh, I think
guy?
it's a lanyard guy.
I think that guy's name was Howard as well. It's just Howard the type.
No, this Howard, I don't care for him.
He doesn't.
I'm
He's
gonna
not
fight
really
over him.
in it. But I mean, he doesn't do much. He has a few like little lines here and there, but he's not really in it as much as you would think he's going to be in it at the beginning.
So far, I've said miners are
His
in a
best
mine.
joke was, I first time I snort coke and I'm drowning, and it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
that
he
good.
snorts the...
Yeah, that was
the
not
weird.
that
liquid
funny.
coke.
I didn't really even. I was like, what? I mean,
Oh, I
like,
got it.
I mean, I did too, but I was like,
But he
that's,
does it again.
Yeah.
He like comes back for the left nostril.
And it's equally not as funny. It's
I
even
mean, I
le-
bet-
no.
What about in Demons when those punk rockers are snorting the coke out of the coke can? That's the same joke and it's funny then.
Yeah, because it's a better movie.
Well, yeah, it's been.
It's a totally different movie. This movie's good. I stand behind
Okay,
this one.
anyway,
so
miners are in a mine.
and it looks like
Mine is going to
it looks
mine.
like abandoned in this part they're in because it's like all cobwebby and shit. And one of the miners takes off their mask and it's like blonde hair, and she takes off her top and it's like miner titties.
Dude, yeah.
Not okay.
Yeah, it was a minor, like it, like
They
a
work in
one-
a mine, and it's
Yeah,
crazy
whatever.
because
All right,
all
Freddy
the movies I
Krueger.
watched for this week, the tattooed tits seem to be the theme of the week. Tattooed titties.
Yeah, and also mute characters are the theme of last week for our two
Last
movies.
week, yeah.
Mute,
Oh,
we had two mutes.
But when I saw this lady's tat, I'd watched Silent Rage right before this, and there's tattooed tits in that as well.
Yeah, and
I
mute.
saw this tattooed tit, I was like, Jesus Christ!
Well, he's
The
yeah.
synchronicity.
I wouldn't call him a mute. He's like just can't talk anymore because he's not really alive.
Technically, that's a mute.
I guess, yeah.
Barbara
Or if you're dead, though, does that?
So
the zombies started screaming and shit. They were dead.
what are
Not
you
in
I don't even know what movie you guys are talking about.
Any zombie movie.
not in Night of the Living
Some
Dead.
of them go more.
Well, the next one they did.
And the
That
Dawn
was
of the
Return of the
Dead,
Living Dead.
and Dawn of the Dead, they just go.
All right, so
That's
this
not
half-naked
me.
miner starts undressing the other miner, and he wants to keep his mask on.
Yeah, keep the mask on, gas daddy.
It's Axel.
What? It's not.
It is. This is Axel.
Oh, I thought that this was
No,
like.
this is the 30-year-old heart that they find in the present.
Yeah, you're
day.
right. Oh, you're right. I'm
This
sorry.
is the first murder to kick off the
All right,
20
well,
years
you just
later
gave
murders.
it away immediately.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
did. I've forgotten that it was
Tia
Axel.
Mikey.
It's Axel.
All right, stay gagged.
He's fucking this blonde lady who's around 30, I know that from the report of the coroner later.
Yeah, that's important information.
But yeah, he wants,
for him it
you
is.
can leave your mask on. And she starts fondling his gas mask hose. She's like playing with the hose. And he like pushes her onto the spike or stake that's sticking out of the ground there in the mine. And she screams, ah! And then the title shows up right there.
Classic.
I love the red title font.
I like the music, but it's also because Paul Zaza did it. He did the music for Prom Night as well.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Zaza. I used to take that stuff
and
from
Prom
the gas
Prom
station.
Night's also a Canadian flick.
Did you guys ever take those weird Zaza pills from the gas station?
No.
They're illegal now.
Well,
One day I went to
Where were you getting them before the gas station?
like
these Zaza pills.
Trucker
like
speed. Is it
off-brand.
trucker
Hopped
speed?
up on
no,
goofballs.
it's a substance that in small doses was used as an antidepressant in South America and Europe called tianeptine, I think is what it's called. And dude, you'd buy a thing like a bottle of 15 was $30, and if you ate
Mike
3
Carroll's
or 4 of them,
pharmacopoeia over here.
it felt like you took a couple of hydros. It was a good feeling, and I would do it in
Quaaludes,
go to
just
work.
throwing that out there real quick.
Yeah, these
no
are like-
Quaaludes in this movie, by the way.
Couldn't buy those at gas
Do
stations.
they even smoke weed? They're
No,
just
I mean, they
drinking
talk about
Moosehead.
Coke.
They talk about Coke. True.
They mentioned drugs.
So
They don't mention Quaaludes, though, but we are.
the girl's dead, and the title went. So now there's more miners. They're coming up. There's a shift change of miners, and there's like a communal shower. Oh, and they left the new guys down there. The people that were the trainees, which included TJ, got left down there at the beginning. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
These miners have unusually high spirits for such a shitty job.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
If you're coal mining in 1981, man.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, but
you're
I
not-
guess, you
probably
know,
not
like
doing
you
well.
have all your
But
friends. That's all your friends
they're
are
off
there.
work and they're
Die
racing
at
to go
fucking
get beer.
55 for
Well, they have
The
a pretty
last
sweet
guy-
rec center down there.
They have a race because the last one has to buy the beer.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably really excited to be off work.
And this town is called Valentine's Bluff.
Yeah, the town
Valentine
also
Bluffs.
seems pretty shitty. So, I mean, maybe
it's
mining is
it's
really
a mining
fun.
town in Canadian.
Well, I don't know. This town is really shitty and small, but all the girls are pretty hot because we'll see that Hollis gets a pretty good looking one.
Patty's,
And she's real into
that's
him.
Patty, man.
Yeah.
She's nice. And I swear I'd seen her face, her sweet little face before,
Jesus
but
Christ.
I didn't watch any of the TV shows she was
Sweet
on.
little face.
in the 80s.
What were they? Well, I guess you'll tell me later.
No, I didn't write them down because
Okay.
they weren't
Well, I
horror
probably
movies.
had seen them.
So
I watched a lot of TV.
we find out that there's a dance because there's a big sign, and all the boyfriends are working in the mine. All the girlfriends, I guess, are working at the union hall, putting up Valentine's
Well,
decorations.
there's really nothing else to do at this town, it seems.
I wrote here that I love this movie. I think it has all the stuff you talk about, the camaraderie and the
it had a
goofy,
little bit of it, but
like,
not the
the
same
stuff
way.
that's happening when nothing happens, when there's not.
I don't
killing.
hate
But
this movie. It's just like I just don't think it's like.
You talk about it like it's Wood Chipper Massacre.
No, I
which
don't
I thought was pretty funny.
No, I don't talk about it like that at all. I just said
sorry.
it's just not my. It's
You were
not.
negative about it in a totally different way.
It's not. No, I understand. I get why people like it. It's just not my era. It's not my thing.
I mean, I just feel like you can like a movie. It's like if you go into a movie known as from 1981 as opposed to 1988, are you not just like setting yourself up to be like, oh, that's not my thing?
Well, I mean, I have seen it like about 4 times and thought the same thing every time I watched it. So I
Word.
feel like that's probably the reason.
Well, it's the first
I back
dance.
the fuck off, Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end this
I'd
line
get,
of questioning.
I'd get off her fucking back about it.
So this is the first
Sounds
dance
like it's pretty
in 20
sweet.
years.
I tried to like Evil Dead last night. The second one because I watched the first one
We're doing
again.
those this year too, right?
I watched the first one again.
Guys, we got Evil Dead 1 and 2 this year.
I love that movie.
The first one's great.
I watched the second one
all
again.
great.
Still hated it.
Really?
That's crazy.
Hated it.
That's crazy.
Hated it.
You were just in a bad mood, man.
But actually really liked the remake again. Watch that again.
Yeah, I like it too.
You're
I like them all.
you're breaking my
I like
heart.
The show. I like it all.
Em, you're breaking my heart.
Okay, well,
So it's the first dance in
it's
20
fucking My
years.
Bloody Valentine, so it tracks.
So we see Miss Osborne and Mayor Hannigan walking into the hall, but Howard, the goofball, has painted red on his head like it's blood, and he's like, oh, acting dead. which he knows 20 years ago what happened. It's the local lore. And we see the cop with the pipe.
Well, when does it show the flashback of all of this? Because
Okay, so the mayor gets, like, when the mayor's leaving, the same Joker's like, oh, hey, mayor, somebody left this for you. And he gets in the car with this box of candy, he thinks, with the cop. And they are driving, and he opens the fucking candy, and there's, like, an ominous note and a human heart in this motherfucking box.
Is that where it shows the flashback to the incident?
Well, it does. Okay. And he says, it can't happen again.
Yeah, because about 12 minutes in, it showed that. I mean, because it's in the kill count for me, because it shows the flashback of the miners being killed and then eaten.
We're not there just yet. First, we're at the cage, which is Happy's bar. Happy's the bartender.
You're doomed.
And they're playing. They're playing the aliens knife finger game. Is there a word?
5-finger fillet.
5-finger fillet.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
And the name. I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
In Aliens.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, they clearly did it, so...
Well, if it's not real, it is now, I just say.
Hollis wins and Axel loses. It seems like Axel and Sarah are together. They are together.
Yeah, there's a love triangle
there. But the bartender, Happy's not being very happy. He's telling the story of...
Camp Crystal Lake.
What's his name? Harry
Warden.
Harry Warden.
Which is weird. When I read the back of that box, it just says that Harry was put in a mental institution after these people died. Well, I mean,
this is where the flashback starts.
They were 4 other miners were trapped in the mine, and Harry ate
20
them
years ago, the dance is happening.
Like, it's not just like they all
After he got
there.
done with them, he had to eat his own shit to survive.
There
It
were
wasn't
7 men down
anything
there.
personal.
2 of them were supervisors, and they were like, fuck this, we're going to go on to the party. And there was an explosion after they left, and the 5 guys got trapped. Not the burger joint. But the 5 guys got trapped down there, and Harry eats a bunch of them. And the supervisors went to this party. And one man, Harry Ballard, Harry what?
Warden.
Harry Warden was the one man who was left alive from cannibalism.
It's Henry. I think it's
Harry. It's Harry Warden.
It's Harry.
But
it's Harry Warden. Sorry, I wrote Henry.
He wouldn't have lived 6 weeks without eating those other miners.
No,
that's
why he ate them. He didn't eat them for fun.
Yeah, he was eating them raw too, just like
he was
right
raw
off the bone.
Raw dogging them.
Just right off the bone. And the bartender claims to be the guy that found him. And once he was found, I guess they put him in an asylum for a year. But after a year,
surviving while he was trapped.
Yeah, well, he was crazy cannibal. But he gets out. He gets out.
Are you
and
saying
the night of the dance,
the second the mine collapsed, he immediately started eating those other dudes? He didn't even wait.
They're not gonna find us.
This is what I was waiting for. Like, how are we gonna get out? You're not.
They don't really go too much into like how long. I mean,
there could be a whole different movie where Harry's just secluded.
That's
and,
like surviving a plane crash in the Alps and like seeing all the dead bodies, being like, finally.
It's like the movie Alive. It's like the movie Alive, except for as soon as that plane crashed, they were like, God damn, I've been waiting on this to happen so I could chomp down on some just raw leg.
Guys, what cut of meat do you want?
Yeah, they were excited about it.
Yeah.
We've been waiting to be cannibals.
Yeah, I'm going to get my merit badge.
Only the fattest will survive.
The Donner Party was like, well, this was the perfect opportunity.
Turns out they weren't even stuck. They just said, you guys want to eat each other?
Yeah, y'all guys want to eat each other?
Meat, and I really
it's like the Hunger Games, except for like real.
Except people are lining up to play them.
Are you singing CeCe Peniston? Finally, it's happened to me.
I can eat human meat, and I really like it.
Yeah, I really.
Man. All right.
Anyway.
Back to it.
Finally.
The way you have it.
All right, everybody, dial a song. Michael, sing it to you.
Finally.
We're going to have rap battles on here soon.
Okay, no one wants to hear this shit. Let's go.
Okay. So, a year later, he escapes from the asylum and he kills the 2 supervisors. And after he does so, he cuts up their hearts and puts them into heart-shaped candy boxes.
A heart-shaped box, if you will.
That's what that song is about.
Really bloody
about this
boxes.
Well, My Bloody Valentine, the band, too.
No, their name had nothing to do with this movie.
No, they never heard of it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and we do see like one of the supervisors getting a pickaxe to the chest. pickaxe to the chest.
Yeah.
And there's at the dance, there's one of the boxes with a heart dripping blood everywhere. And the note's like, if you have more dances, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Okay.
So they stop having dances.
End of problem.
Yeah. Well, it was, and it worked.
And then they just wouldn't listen. This movie could have been avoided completely.
Rumor
one
around
request.
town
Well, I
says
guess not.
he still
because
lives
the
at
lady
the
in the mine at the
mine.
beginning. So
They think he still lives in the mine somewhere.
yeah, they don't know he's actually dead, and he's been dead for 5 years. No one knows where he was.
Wait, we don't find out he's been dead for 5 years till the very end.
Yeah, well, we also don't find out it's Axel to the end. You already said that, so I mean, like,
Touche.
it's a big
I
fucking.
was about to say, tall order.
Oh, I'm sorry that I gave that away.
The reason he's a killer is because he saw Harry kill his dad 20 years ago.
Yeah, his dad was one of the supervisors.
He never had a chance.
His dad was his
Poor
dad
little
was
Axel.
one of the supervisors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
his
yeah,
dad was
you know,
one
when
of the
something
supervisors.
shitty happens to me, I'm like, man, I gotta go do that to
So the
somebody
mayor,
else.
Yeah, me
one thing I
too.
noticed about this is
Every
the
day.
mayor is the owner of the mine. Isn't that like a conflict of interest when?
I don't think so. When that's all the town is.
Yeah, Henniganville, Valentine Bluff, whatever they want to call it.
The mine cavern.
No.
The mine caverns are bigger than the actual town. There's more square mileage under.
Yeah.
Tunnels.
Well, that's why they party down there.
So after
There's a
that,
Starbucks down there.
we
And,
are
and
back.
Five
The
Guys.
whole mall.
We're
Yeah.
back at the cage.
It's like the underground Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I like how there's Harriet is the virgin like server, I guess, and they sing this song about Harriet because she hasn't lost a chair yet.
Oh.
I like the Canadian songs. Okay,
Well,
Do you like the fucking outro, the ending song? Because it's really
this
great.
is where we meet TJ again. So I guess we don't really meet
Not-
him.
not
But
TJ Hooker.
And you can tell that there's some tension between him and Sarah, the blonde, who is also Axel's girlfriend, even though he's a murderer. Fucking blonde
Okay,
lady.
you don't know
Well,
that yet,
nobody
so can
knows
we
this
stop
yet.
talking about that?
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
guys, you don't know that yet. We don't know
Yeah.
who the killer is. It isn't
could
who
it-
done it.
It's Harry. I wrote down Harry instead of killer.
Okay, well
lot
then
of
why
times.
didn't you just keep saying that instead of what you did?
I'm sorry, guys.
just narrate.
Hopefully you've already
motherfucker.
watched this movie.
Can
we ruined everything.
Can we move on?
Yes. So we get Stalker Vision. A bunch in this movie. The mayor and the cop are at the morgue talking about Harry, and that's when we find out they found the heart. It was the 30-year-olds from the opening,
Yeah, he does say it was a human.
and the stalker goes into
I do like how the mortician comes out and he's like, yeah, it's
Not the mortician, it's the medical examiner.
or medical examiner or whatever, but he's got the heart and he's like, yeah, it's a human heart, and the guys are like,
where the fuck did you
they're
guys
like-
get this?
Yeah, he's like, where the fuck did this come from? And he's like,
This is
and they're
heavy
like,
shit.
they start talking about Harry Warden, and he goes, have you called to see if that guy's still locked up yet? And they're like, we'll do it in the morning, and he's like, what the fuck?
They were-
Like,
Yeah.
They were closed.
like, yeah.
So
But he's the only dude who acts like true in this movie. Like, what are you guys gonna do about this?
Stalker Vision takes us to the laundromat owned by Mrs. Osborne, Madam Mabel's laundromat,
That's cute.
and
Mabel's pretty cute.
there's
too.
been a box left on the table, and she opens it, and there's a note that's ominous, and the lights go out, and she gets attacked, and we see the pickaxe fall. We don't actually see it strike the flesh, and it cuts to 3 guys wrenching on Hollis's car in some junkyard they hang out at, and somebody's watching him. Oh, there's lots of these stupid scares where it's just one of the other characters.
Just me, bro.
We
Well,
hear-
I mean, it's a jump. I think they attempt a lot of jump
Is
scares.
that
that
how
don't
all
really
Canadians
work
are?
out.
That's just how they enter rooms, like serial killers.
So Axel's hanging out playing harmonica, and then
Harmonica Johnny.
the watcher gives him some whiskey. Oh, it's TJ, and he starts playing dueling fucking harmonica with Axel like this is some kind of rite of manhood. And they start arguing about Sarah. Why'd you leave? We didn't know when you were coming back. TJ's left town and come back and just expects his girlfriend to still be his girlfriend.
Yeah,
Where was he?
No,
They
nobody ever
never say.
Like,
but
why was
it's
he
They
even
don't say.
gone?
They
You
don't
don't know
say
how
for
hard
how
it was
long.
out
And
there,
also, like,
baby.
why was
Yeah.
he gone? How long was he gone?
They
Like,
don't.
I
They
don't
never
know.
say the only thing.
Yeah.
The only thing there's like, man, like nobody knew where he was, and he's like, you don't know, man. It's like,
So,
what
well,
happened?
no, we don't know.
No,
I mean,
and it never. Nobody ever will.
Maybe you tried to make it in the Canadian Hollywood. Is that like Toronto? I went down to the big city, man, but I just couldn't crack it at at the improv joint. So
I'm a double agent. I live a double life.
we see the cops on the phone with some lady that works at the asylum, and she's like, yeah, don't know what fucking happened to him. And the cops are like, how could you not know? There's no records there. And they decide, holy shit, we might have to cancel the dance.
Isn't that when one of them says, Harry Warden's back in town? Yeah. That's like awesome.
These guys. So then we see Sarah and Patty walking and talking, and there is a cop that goes to Madame Mabel's, and it's the main cop. What is he? Chief something or another. He's kind of handsome.
He's okay. Not as handsome as Daddy Saxon.
Yeah, he's like, he's Canadian. John Saxon. He's Canadian John Saxon.
No, he's not. Dude. No one. I mean, he's nothing to me. He means
he's
nothing
to me. Moosehead Saxon.
So there's a funny smell. He keeps like sniffing his hands and like sniffing his gun and shit.
It's called a fart, bro.
But he notices something's wrong when there's all these upside down hearts. And he ends up opening the dryer and starts sniffing the clothes, and a really cool looking old lady's corpse falls out.
Mabel.
Scares the shit out of her.
That shit's awesome.
So then they're in the mine again, and Axel and TJ almost get in a scrap over Sarah, and they send TJ up, and the cop and the mayor, everybody's at the fucking laundromat now. And the cop won't call in for reinforcements, and he wants it kept quiet that Harry Warden's back. Right?
I mean...
Yeah, he doesn't want people to know.
All 12 people in town, all 14 people that live in this town already know.
The mine crew?
Yeah. Yeah. All 22 of them.
So...
yeah. Gather around, townspeople.
They end up finding a little note, like, stuck into the hole in her chest.
It's like, yo, dude, I'm serious about this dance. I'm as serious as a heart attack.
This is where they
don't fucking do it.
Dance is off. And the cop's telling them. And
dance is off.
TJ's leaving after their fight, and Axel follows him, but TJ gets in his car and he's like, fuck this, I'm gonna go kidnap Sarah. He didn't really have to kidnap her, but he's like, you're getting in the car with me. And he takes her to their spot. Like, I think that's on
like
the
coal
ocean.
Through the hourglass. These are the minds of our lives.
It was like Superior or something.
Oh yeah, because when he takes her, he's like,
don't you remember
she says something
spot?
Like, I couldn't forget. And I was like, what is this spot? No one tells you anything about anything.
Sarah's
in this.
confused.
Where
she
was
doesn't
he?
know if she loves
We don't know where he was.
She doesn't know if she loves Axel.
Apparently this spot she couldn't forget.
What does TJ stand for? We'll never know. Like
Tanner,
that's like
Tanner Jason.
Something Junior.
No,
Tommy
it's
Junior.
No, I had a friend named TJ, and it was Tanner. It was Tanner.
It's Thomas
Tanner
Jefferson,
Johnson.
Dude.
It's Thomas.
Okay.
That's his name. It's Thomas.
I had a friend in high school named TJ, and it was Tanner Johnson. I feel like
I'm pretty sure
that.
it's Thomas Jefferson.
It was Tanner something. I know that for a fact. I don't know the middle name, but.
So they end up kissing, and
TJ
Sarah's
Brock,
really
if you ever hear
conflicted.
this, let us know your middle name.
And we see Axel at the bar with the gang when TJ walks in. And for some reason, I guess TJ's just left Sarah somewhere to walk home.
Yeah,
and
probably.
There's some spooky owl and dog noises, and the cop jump scare. And this whole time, the bartender knows what the fuck's going on. You know, he knows.
Yeah, well, he
It wasn't no fucking heart attack.
Yeah, because they tell everybody it was a heart
voice.
attack to like stop panic or whatever. So yeah.
So the kids are hanging out at the bar, and they're like, "Fuck this, no dance. We're gonna have a party at the mine." TJ's dad is the one who owns it, the mayor. And
dude, did you guys catch that little like back and forth from like what the hell was that?
Scary.
You can't hear it.
Okay, there's a little back and forth between the bartender and the Howard kid. And he's calling them little assholes, and he goes like, "You little asshole!" And the other guy goes, "Who?" And he goes, "You!" It's fucking hilarious.
Well, Happy's like, "Fuck
for
this
no
party."
reason, because the thing I don't get about this bartender is these kids are from what we see,
he
the
goes
only
and
people who
sets
give
up
him
like
business, and they
scary.
but he hates them.
Yeah.
So why do you want a bar if this is the only people who hang out here, and you're like, "You little piece of shit," and they're not doing anything.
But he goes and fucking sets up like an elaborate hoax, like minor.
It's pretty
it's
good.
like a fake,
but
Harry.
not as good.
It's going to be like a
Harry doll.
dummy to scare them.
But it's It's pretty good.
He keeps doing it,
but
it's not
it's not as good as he
and the
thinks
fucking
it
thing
is.
doesn't move, and he's like, "Oh, it takes him a second," and he like is like, "Why is it broken?" I just, what's up? And he opens it again and gets it in the chin from a pickaxe because Harry was there. It's Axel. I mean, Harry.
No, but he was way too amused with that prank. It's not. Would it even be like fun watching them get scared, or you just want to do it yourself, man? Like,
well, I'd be proud of that shit. That's like a good gag.
Yeah. And he did it in like 2 minutes. It's pretty impressive.
Well, imagine how long it took the people
to
that made the movie to do it. That's not just
probably about that.
Let's talk about how long it's taken us to get to this point in the movie.
Oh, this is where it says Saturday, February 14th. Valentine's Day. Yeah. It's like text on the screen.
That was yesterday when this episode comes out.
So the cop and the mayor, they're standing outside and a heart blows by them, and they're like, pick it up, wad it up. They're pissed off. The kids are at the mine rec hall.
Oh yeah, by the way, our prize pack giveaway, I'm gonna tell y'all on the February fan request. I'm gonna tell y'all on the February fan request. February fan requested episode.
February.
Oh God, help me.
So they're tossing around snacks, and the cop burps at some point, and he gets a heart, and it's just candies. He's like, go get me some coffee to his underling. And Hollis has got a bunch of beer. He's like, hey, I got the beer.
You mean Bunny Carlos, the drummer of Cheap Trick?
Yeah, I can see that. Chubby
does
Cheap
look
Trick.
like him.
Somebody parks out front, and TJ's like, hey, park that car around back. I don't want anybody to see the cars out here.
Because I run this joint, see?
And there's Harriet's really good at pool.
Yeah.
She
did you notice how like this
Mike's
place
money
over here is just as cool as the other bar, except you don't have a bartender going, you little asshole?
Yeah, but they can't drink here. Are they underage?
No, they're minors, Mike. They work on a mine. They're not minors.
Yes.
Yeah, they're drinking.
They're minors.
They're drinking at a bar, so they're of age.
So back then, the age was like, what, 18?
So
I'm sure it would
David
not
the
still
Greaser
be
guy.
in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
David the Greaser guy's got the munchies, and he goes to the kitchen for a hot dog.
Well, in the United States, then it was 18.
Yeah.
So.
But while he's looking at the hot dogs, Harry, the killer, comes and sticks his face in the hot dogs.
Dude,
I'm sure it was hot.
That's all you got.
It was barely boiling. Be like, fuck you. Was he drowned? Was he burnt to death? I don't know.
What he was screaming when his head was in the water was like, they're not done yet, man.
He's like, my character's name is David.
It does say head boiled alongside wieners.
Remember me.
Remember David. David for life. So
make me into a pig in a blanket.
We see.
I got your pig in a blanket right here.
The cop is like, fuck.
He's also not uncircumcised.
Oh.
After the cop finds out that the candy box is just candy, he's gonna go to the mine.
He's very relieved.
He's relieved, but he's still on
from
edge.
Mabel to him.
Knows what's up.
And he's already found her, so she's dead.
He walks outside, and there's
he is relieved to see that it's a box of actual candy and not a human heart like the one before.
So he hears all these dogs barking, and he's about to walk outside, and he's like, what the hell's going on? And the dogs are fighting over another candy box that does have a human heart in it.
No.
They're like licking the blood, because dogs will eat you if you die around them. So he shoos away the dogs.
Don't go dying around dogs.
You faster.
And there's a note on the heart that says you didn't stop the party. And he yells out. He's like,
actually,
what damn party?
I don't think that's true as much as it is for cats. Cats will eat you like immediately upon
Hamsters
death.
will eat you.
Yeah,
dogs, if they're like real domesticated,
what if you were...
it takes it like they have to a lot. Sometimes they'll die along with you.
What if it's not the owner? Would they only die for the owner?
I think that I've heard that there have been dogs that have starved to death because the person living inside there died and they didn't eat.
Either way, if it's the person who died, who gives a shit? Like, you're dead.
I guess your dog does because they're the only thing they can give you unconditional love besides, I guess, your parents.
But that love is conditional still.
Okay, well, it's conditional on
what
you.
What damn party?
Yeah.
Dogs will. It's unconditional.
Stop feeding them, start beating them, see if it's
Come
unconditional.
on.
They will. They'll
Start feeding them gunpowder, see if that's unconditional.
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless you're like Mike.
This is when Howard sniffs
Who's
the
Mike?
coke.
Not like the real, not you. The guy that Mike Vince
you.
or Vince
Vince Michael.
Mike Van Smith.
The guy that
Mike
fucking
Vince.
Vinny
the
Mike.
guy that had dogs fighting. He was like a football player.
Mike Vick.
Mike Vick.
Michael Vick
Michael Vick. Yeah.
I don't know.
of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, he was caught for like running a dog ring.
Yeah.
They probably would eat him. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, if the dogs don't like you, they'll eat you.
Oh.
So
I needed to get Steve.
Howard's sniffing coke out of a coke can.
He's very, Steve is sitting. Steve's on the podcast now, and he's very
Hey,
hurt by what
Steve.
you have said. My dog Steve is.
Eat your mama. Eat your mama.
He would never.
Your mama. He's so cute. He's got these big bug eyes.
That was him.
That's his paws. So Sarah tells Axel to stop, trying to grab up on her, and TJ and Axel get into an argument over Sarah, and she calls them both jerks. And
They're being jerks.
Axel wins.
Well, I mean, yeah,
they're
with good
totally being
reason.
jerks. And Axel, I think, won the fight.
Oh yeah, dude.
But
TJ got his
then-
ass
then
fucking
Hollis
kicked.
breaks
He
it
got his
up.
fucking ass destroyed.
Hollis
Yeah,
is a
but
big
she still
boy.
likes TJ more.
Got his ass rocked.
You can tell she still likes TJ more though, because that was her, I guess, original love.
So
She
Axel
didn't
kind
want him
of.
to leave.
It's unconditional.
And we
Emily.
still
Well,
don't know
also
where
Axel
the fuck
has
he
just
went though.
Axel has just put his friend Dave's face on the hot dogs and
Yeah.
killed him.
Well, we don't know that.
Well,
Mike.
you gotta.
So,
For all the people that have already watched this movie,
Which I'm sure
all
everyone
these
has.
people has watched the My
Steve,
Bloody
get off.
Valentine, Canadia's greatest movie, 1981.
okay, I would say that Friday the 13th
So
Part 2 is better.
this is one of those movies like once it ends, it's like you rethink all these different points through the movie, like seeing how did that happen. You know what I mean?
I didn't think about
Scream
it. Too.
does that. You have to like rethink about. Like, does that make sense? Oh, it does.
Well, yeah. Well, people have actually broken down that movie as to who's killing, as to who's
I bet
behind the
people have done
mask.
that with this too.
But
Somebody
no, the
somewhere.
reason they do it with Scream is because
Fango.
there are two killers. So who's killing
Yeah.
in each scene, and you can tell because Stu does a certain. He always holds the knife a
Which
certain.
one's Stu?
Matthew Lillard.
Okay.
He always
And
holds
what's your boy's?
Skeet Ulrich.
What was
He-
his character's name?
Billy Loomis. Billy Loomis and Stu Mocker.
If I don't get to do it, you don't get to do it.
But
Do
no,
what? That was
but
Emily.
if you
Burp onto the mic.
rewatch it,
Emily
like they
burped.
all hold
Emily
like
burped.
he always Skeet Ulrich's character always like strangles them first, or like starts at their throat first, and then he kills them.
I don't know why I brought up Scream. That's my fault.
Yeah, it's
Sounds like you're pretty interested in it.
So Axel, after the fight, stumbles off and he apologizes to Sarah, but she's distraught. And Howard does the coke joke again in his other nostril, and we see Axel sitting on a spool, crying on the corner, and the
He's
couple
a
is
bitch.
making out. Then we see it's Sylvia and John making out in the mess hall, and there's all these fucking like uniforms up top, and you can pull a rope and make it come down. And she's like, "Hey, you know what we need?" And he's like, "Oh, I've got a condom right here."
John gets.
I love the
John,
condom joke
I did like
segments.
that John lived also.
John does live,
Yeah, he does.
but
And I thought Sylvia was kind of pretty cute.
yeah, Sylvia is super cute.
Everybody in this town was doing pretty fucking well for themselves, man. Even the cop had Mabel, and Mabel still kind of had it.
Yeah, I've realized
For
I've been
real.
watching too much Curb Your
Right.
Enthusiasm because I've started going pretty cute,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh God, help
Yeah,
me.
don't adopt that.
No, I started adopting Dennis characteristics after Always Sunny, so
Oh, God.
probably a step up from that because he's
Being
a
a
sociopath.
sociopath?
Yeah.
So this is where she sends John to
Filibuster.
get some beers, and when he's in there getting beers and missing his dead friend in the fridge, the girls find some weird looking pig
That's
hoof
like did
in
that
the hot
remind you
dogs. There
of
was, like,
the
something
scene
weird in the
in
hot
Slumber
dogs.
Party Massacre
It's a
where
heart.
Courtney is about to get beer out of the
Oh,
fridge
yeah.
and like that girl, I can't remember her
pimple
name,
girl?
the blonde headed girl is it stuffed in the fridge and like
Heidi
her sister.
Kozar?
No, that's Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Oh, that's
And the
2.
first one, like Courtney's getting the beer,
Isn't
and
that
her
first
sister's
name?
like, "Courtney, you're underage," and she like closes the
Oh.
fridge back, but that girl's about to fall out of it.
I like that sister, the older sister.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, she is. She's dead.
Yeah, she is.
So uniforms start. Like, John's getting beer, doesn't see David's corpse, And then uniforms start dancing around on Sylvia, and she's freaking out. And then Happy falls out where he got killed by the fake prank.
Well, he didn't get killed by the.
He didn't get killed by the prank.
He didn't get killed by the dummy. He got killed by a real person.
A fake prank is the real deal.
Well, yeah, but okay.
Yeah,
he got killed by the fucking
some
killer.
semantic bullshit.
Like, he didn't get killed by the dummy.
God. No, word salad over here.
Happy falls on her, and she turns around and fucking Harry/Axel just grabs her by the face, and I guess he hoists her into the shower room. And when John comes back, he thinks she's showering. He's like, "Oh yeah," and he starts unbuttoning his shirt. But then he sees her. We don't see her. He drops his beer, and like there's this wide-eyed stare, and you can kind of see like the shadow of her face spitting the water.
See it. I'm pretty sure in the extended cut you see it. I think you see more of it. I can't remember because it's been like about 2 years since I watched.
But the faucet's like coming out of her mouth, right?
Yeah, I think you see it like full on. I can't remember for sure what else is put into the extended cut.
Well, the cop's about to get there, but right when he like pulls in, he gets a distress call from a lady across town. He's got to go check out, which I wish they would have showed it was like a cat in a tree or something. So he's like there and like about to.
I used to think that was all firefighters did. I was under the impression that was all firefighters did until I was like, I don't know, 6.
This is the point where Howard and Hollis and a couple of the girls, they're like, we're going to take a lift down to the mine. And TJ's like, no, you're not. There's a rule against women going in the mine, which I thought was kind of crazy. No pussy in the mine. But,
well, yeah, what happens down there stays down there, bro.
They go down there.
It's not gay down there.
it's not gay in jail.
It's not gay in the mine.
Oh, shit.
The girls they get down there, and the girls are like, give us a tour. And Howard sees something in the abandoned part, and it's like, And he says it's probably just rats. Mike and Harriet, Mike and Harriet are like, we're splitting meet you there in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is great. It's a head-on shot of Sylvia's shower impalement.
And then, okay.
Yeah.
So back upstairs at the party, we hear a girl screaming because she's found David's fucking frozen body in the fridge.
I'll read all of them later, everything that was good.
John, this is the same time John comes out and talks about Sylvia being dead in the shower. And Axel's like, everybody needs to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but at that point, Hollis and...
everybody's
Hollis,
in the mine.
Howard, Patty, and Sarah were all down in the abandoned part of the mine.
Yeah, also Mike and
it looked kind of fun. It reminded me of that. You know, have you ever played Donkey Kong?
It's like going in Tuckaleechee Caverns.
No, have you ever played Donkey Kong Country? You know, the one for Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, remember then the second world where you have to ride the mine. You have to ride the mine cart.
It's good shit.
And I was like, oh, that looks fucking fun as hell. So then it reminded me of Dollywood. With the mine, the flooded mines, which are gone now. That was a ride that's still they still have it.
I've only been once.
Well, they have it still at Silver Dollar City, because Dollywood actually used to be Silver Dollar City. So there's still a Silver Dollar City in Missouri, I think. So they still have the flooded mines. They still have the flooded mines, but now they have.
Not real golf.
They got rid of it for some other ride, but they still have. Well, Blazing Fury kind of reminds me of it too. Yeah. And they have actual like a mine roller coaster now, where you're in a mine and it's like almost a vertical drop, so like a 90-degree forward drop. Anyway, go on. Sorry, right, Dollywood's fun.
Axel says, "Everybody get out." TJ tries to call the police, but the phone has been destroyed. And TJ and Axel are like, "We got to get Sarah," and they agree on this. Yeah, well, I think, because they're in love, both of them.
Was Axel
with
really
each other?
No, Axel's a fucking psychopathic murderer because his dad was killed.
But do you think that he would have killed Sarah? Do you think he would have killed Sarah though if she had like picked him?
Doesn't he try to?
I mean, I'm saying at that point she kind of TJ kind of alludes to him that she's picked him. The last girl that was gonna
fuck him.
Yeah, but he wasn't in love with her. That was just some whore. That was just some whore off the street.
Dude,
It never says she's
if
a
I was
whore.
working in a mine,
I know,
She
but
does have a tattooed titty.
if I was working in a mine and a babe like that was working down there, and she was like, "Hey, let's slip around this corner," I'd be like,
hey,
"Whoa,
I
hot
was
miner
kidding.
chick."
Oh,
do, you
there
like
was
do you like tattoos on tits?
Me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, both of you.
I don't
care.
care for tattoos, but I don't give a shit. I'm into.
What do you
if
think's
somebody's
worse?
cool, but
What do you think's worse, a
Eve, I
chest
like
tattoo or just a straight up tit tattoo?
it's all like putting a bumper sticker on a Cadillac.
Yeah.
I mean, Eve's tattoos are pretty
But
iconic,
whatever.
though. The paws.
Eve
The rapper.
Oh, I thought you meant the first one.
She was talking about Eve 6, the band.
No, Eve the rapper.
Genesis?
Eve-
The book of Genesis.
There's tattoos on her
named
titties.
Eve. No, I don't like it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not a deal breaker.
I don't like. I don't.
No,
I,
it's not a deal
I'm
breaker.
not into women that way, so I really could give a shit.
Guys have tits too.
No, I mean, I don't
Do you
know.
think- do you like tits on a man?
A chest tattoo in general, I don't give a fuck. Really.
Do you hate man boobs?
What if the
is
chest
man boobs a
tattoo
turn
was?
off?
Yeah.
What if the chest tattoo was huge and it was of Ross Perot?
That'd be a automatic marry.
You're marry that one.
Yeah, that is
Mary
hilarious.
fuck kill Bush.
As you know, the
Clinton,
ears would be over the fucking
Ross
pecs
Perot.
and everything.
Wait, was it?
Fuck, Mary, kill.
It wasn't Bush. It was Bob
It was
Dole.
Bob Dole
Bob Dole, Ross Perot,
and Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Mary fuck kill. 1992 election
I'm
edition.
gonna marry Ross Perot. I'm gonna fuck Bob Dole. I'm gonna kill Bill Clinton.
Damn.
He fucked the real estate market bad.
I'm gonna
Pass.
pass.
He fucked with the economy.
Hard pass.
I'm
all
not
three.
fucking any of those people.
Yeah. I like the Bob.
I'd use the
Do you
kill.
remember Bob Dole from the Conan O'Brien show when they had other people's
Oh
lips?
yeah.
Do you remember when he would have
And
just
the
have
Bill
all
Clinton.
those charts and it was just like, I don't even know what you're talking
I'm from
about.
Texas.
He'd be like, I have to look at this chart.
Yeah.
Don't look at this one. Look at this one. It's like, I don't
I
even know
remember,
what one of those
I
means.
was the age where I wasn't old enough to vote in '92, but
No,
I was we had a fake
7.
election at a middle school or high school.
Talking about those lame ass times of politics, but
92 or
don't you
96?
nowadays? Don't you miss those kinds
Was
of
that 90?
politics?
I miss
Was that
the shit out of that.
1996 or 1992?
I think it would have been 1992.
Six.
I thought 1992 was when Bush Sr. won.
So this would have been 96.
Yeah. So I would have been,
I was
11.
15.
Okay.
How old were you, Nick?
I was 11. He was 10.
Yeah, I was 10.
He's a year younger than me.
The baby.
Yeah.
Baby Nikki. Good thing I'm the babysitter. Come and sit on a babysitter's
You're not doing
lap.
a very good job at it right now, so
Yeah.
move on. I just have to
Now I'm
pick
gonna
between
find my
three
space.
shitty, like in my opinion, three shitty fucking presidents, marry, fuck, kill.
Yeah.
Like, or two of them weren't even presidents, but remember when Bob Dole fell off the stage that time? That was pretty funny.
Presidents fall.
He was real old, not as old as Biden, but old.
They're all old.
So they go.
They didn't used to be.
Axel and TJ go down into the mine
age
and they
works.
split up so they can find Sarah faster.
No, that's not what I meant.
But-
I didn't mean them themselves. I mean like Obama wasn't old when he became president. Neither was JFK, but
He's
assassinated.
older than us.
Well, they fixed JFK.
I know. I'm saying presidents
How
weren't.
old was Obama
Not
when he
all
was
presidents
first
are
president?
old when they're elected. Is what I was saying.
Obama, when he went in, was, I think,
40 I think
48,
it's
but when he got
40-something,
out,
yeah.
he was 74.
Yeah. God, have you look into those pictures of people? Like, for one, especially if they're two-term presidents, they've aged 8 years. So you have to take that into consideration when they're looking at the before and after. I mean, 8 years is a lot. But also, it just the job ages them so much. They look like shit. Haggard as fuck when they're done being president. Have you ever looked at those pictures? I always do, like, before and after presidency.
No.
Oh, my God. They all look like fucking
I
shit.
try not to look at them bitches.
Presidential faces of meth.
It kind of is. It kind of is like that. Except for also, it's been 8 years a lot of times. So it's like, well, you went from being 48 to, I don't know, like in your late 50s almost.
So when they get down there, TJ and Axel split up. Meanwhile, Sarah and Patty get scared by Hollis. But then Hollis, Sarah, and Patty get scared by Howard, who is up in the fucking roof. And Harry Warden's actually watching them all from another roof. It's Axel. Shit. How did Axel get there so fast?
do it.
Because it's not
He must really know the mines
Let's
well.
just not.
He works there.
He does work there.
But
they're in the
he carved some
they're
of
in
them.
the abandoned part, and what you're I hope going to get to very soon is when they all find out that these people are dead, so they need to get away. All of these people are still alive when they figure out that they need to get the fuck out. And I know Howard says something like, "I don't fucking know my way around this area enough because it's been abandoned."
Somebody's going by away from them, breaking all the fucking lights.
Yeah, and that's,
so you can hear
that scene.
That's
is
really
good.
cool.
That scene was
I
very
really
cool.
like the mine as
a
scary place to be chased.
I also enjoyed it a lot more
set.
than
It's
your
different than a
typical, or
Or a
a
house.
gymnasium.
Yeah.
Or even in He Knows You're Alone, which has an awful fucking chase scene at the end. It's like, but it's
Or like
in
the big basement
it's in a morgue, so
Yeah.
it's supposed to be more creepy, but it's still just like boring.
Hospitals are creepy.
But I thought the mine there was a lot you could like work with, like
there's dangerous shit already.
Well, with his like the scene where he's going by like what you just said, breaking all the lights. That scene was really cool looking.
Yeah.
And was like really scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't scared, but it was impending doom.
So John and Tommy
Like, this guy
have
means
left,
business.
and they find the cop and tell him that Harry's killing people. So the cop gets on the horn. He's calling for backup, and they're looking for Mike and Harriet, but they can't fucking find them. They're not answering.
They're dead.
And TJ scares them, and he tells them all about Harry being around. This is when they find out. But they still have to find Mike and Harriet. So they leave Howard with the girls, and Hollis and TJ split up.
Yeah.
And Hollis finds them.
Mike and Harriet.
And they're like they look like they're intertwined in a lover's
they're impaled
embrace,
together with a drill bit.
Impaled with a drill bit.
Yep.
And then we see Harry, Axel, cocking a big nail gun. It's like a big nail gun.
It's a nail gun, yeah.
And he shoots Hollis 2 times in the fucking head.
Yeah. Shot twice in the head. He shoots him more than that,
And
but
Hollis
it's twice it
stumbles.
hits him in the head.
He's still alive enough to stumble to where Howard, Patty, and Sandy are. And they see him fall over, and Patty starts losing her fucking shit because it's her boyfriend. And she's like, "I'm not leaving him." It's like, there's a fucking killer.
Because
Patty, get it together.
That scene didn't really. I was like, oh god, because
I think there should be more of that
or not
in
TJ.
these
I'm sorry.
slashers, you know?
Well,
She's
Howard's
freaking
like-
out, and there's
Howard's
a straight
like-
bitch slap. Like,
And, and Howard's like,
Like-
come on, I'm leaving. And Sarah's like, we can't leave her. And he's like, I don't fucking care.
Well,
bye.
she's taking the light off Hollis, and Patty gets pissy with her, like, "Don't touch him." She's like, "We need this fucking light. There's a goddamn killer."
we're in a mine.
So Axel scares them. We still don't know Axel is the killer, but Axel scares them at this point. And then they're like, now we have to find TJ and Howard. But did Hollis even... Did everybody else find Mike and Harriet? Or they're just like, fuck them?
No.
Because at some point it's like, we're going to send help down here, but we got to go.
Yeah. They see Hollis and they go. I don't think they see Mike and Harriet.
They end up going to the elevator, but the controller on the elevator's been fucked, which we already knew because Axel and TJ had to come down manually. So they start climbing up the ladder, and you see Patty's legs in one of these shots. I'm like, damn, Patty's looking fly.
Yep, they're out there, Mike.
Patty, holla at your boy.
Okay, come on.
So we get some crazy ladder action, and Patty's like, I can't go up anymore. So Sarah is like, I'm gonna help you, but she's like doubling up on Patty on the ladder. Is like, is that really the kind of help?
And you kind of like that, don't you?
But they. So
Now kiss.
Harry Axel slings Howard over the fucking side.
So you see they didn't make out.
You see Howard hanging for a second, but then the cable he's being hung by decapitates him.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
It's like right in front of them. So they start all going back down, being like, "Don't look at him! Don't look at him!" And they're like, Axel and TJ are like, "We need to go to the rail cars." And Axel's like, "I know a shortcut. I'm the killer." And
that's exactly how it went down.
But we hear, I don't know. They go to investigate some noises, and TJ.
A whole lot of running around.
It seems like TJ gets like the mine falls on him, and they're like, TJ, and they don't hear a response, so they start running. but there's like weird loud noises, like animals and machines starting. And
the animals are starting.
They're running along, Patty and Sarah. All of a sudden, Patty gets a pickaxe to the gut, and Sarah's like doesn't even stop. She just keeps on going. And we see all these cops showing up, and TJ ends up scaring Sarah, so they're together again in the mine, and they keep going towards the exit, and the fucking cops are coming down. So it's like at some point, they're gonna meet, but they get to the rail car and get it going, and the fucking killer hops on the back of it.
I like that part where TJ's like, fighting. Hey, this is kind of like that part in Donkey Kong. Sarah's like, totally.
Oh my God,
TJ and the killer start fighting on the cart, and everybody falls off of it, and I guess doesn't homegirl give, like, it's like a...
I mean, the movie's almost over.
It's almost over.
Yeah. Homegirl don't matter.
They're
anymore.
fighting. There's going to be a lot of fighting between the killer and TJ. Oh, yeah.
I kind of zoned out at this point, so...
At one point, the cop fingers some blood off the rail car that's coming by, and like...
I don't know why you said it like that.
I just thought it was funny. He was pondering the blood. There's like 100 fucking people coming down to this mine.
Some of them aren't even from town. They came from the next town over. Like,
what's
going on over there?
There's a mine war. Okay. So they end up falling into...
Harry's back? Well, shit, why didn't you say so?
They're getting chased up the hall, and there's a passageway on the right, but it has like a danger sign. This is like an abandoned part of the mine, and they go in there, and the killer follows them, and he just starts kind of... they're like fighting, but he's like ripping down parts of the wall with his fucking pickaxe. And during one part of the struggle... fucking Sarah hits the killer with a big rock, and he gets unmasked, and you see it's Axel. And
really?
His axe gets stuck, and he starts pulling a knife. It's like, okay, we get the flashback of his dad getting killed. So, oh no,
that's when we find out that's why he's doing it.
That's the weird thing. It's like, my dad died. Yeah, fuck you, Dad. Hey, dude who killed him, you are my fucking hero. You are a legend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna grow up to be you.
Yeah.
But he ends up living.
Maybe we're gonna have your job.
The room falls in on him.
He doesn't actually. He's presumed to be dead. He cuts his arm off.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'll go into it.
The cops know the shit. The cops figured out that Harry was dead, so they knew it was Axel. The cop and the warden stumble. No, the mayor. The cop and the mayor figure out the motive just by talking.
Yeah, really quickly.
It must have been his dad getting killed.
He basically traps himself back inside the mine, and you hear him laughing.
He says that he'll see TJ in hell, and that he's coming to meet
Harry,
which means he's going to kill himself.
Well, he's dying.
He's like, Harry, I'm coming for you.
Well, the reason he was he cut his own arm off because his arm
show that?
It does in the unedited one.
Oh.
He cut his arm off to get at, because when it caves in on him, his arm gets stuck. He cuts his arm off, and he runs off, and he's presumably dies from bleeding out from his arm being cut off.
I wish that had been in.
Well, it is. There's a lot that's cut out. So yeah,
I need to watch the unedited.
I can't. I'm gonna read a few things. I'll read what all was edited out so it didn't get an X rating. They put all the
penetration.
They put most of it back in. Ooh, so if you get the Lionsgate 2009 DVD, you can choose to watch the rated R version or the unedited version. And I can't remember if all of this was put back in. Regardless of which version you choose, though, there are 3 scenes that are put back in to both versions.
Yeah,
and they are the flashbacks of Axel's father's death. Harry Warden with the arm. I don't know what that means.
That might.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Warden with the arm.
His own arm.
I'm going to talk. Let me get through I'm going to do the kill count, and then I'll talk to you about the things that were taken out of the movie. Which a lot of the stuff that was taken out really sucks because it takes away from, like, there are things that you don't understand really because it had to be edited out. So okay. 1 at 3 minutes, we have the lady in the mine who's impaled through the back against the rod. That's 3 minutes in.
Rod.
2 deaths 2 through 5 are at 12 minutes. And that's in a flashback. It's the miners being killed and eaten by Harry Warden. Deaths 6 and 7 are also in the flashback. They're a minute later, and it's the mining supervisors who are killed with the pickaxe and their hearts are ripped out. 8 is at 19 minutes, and it's Mabel. She's killed with a pickaxe off screen. 9 is Happy, who's killed with a pickaxe through the neck and out the eye at 39 minutes. So that's 20 minutes later. And then about 5 minutes later, you have Dave, whose head is boiled. That's death 10. 11 is Sylvia, who's impaled through the back of the head with a pipe. That's at 53 minutes. It becomes a shower, yeah. Deaths 12 and 13 happen at the same time. Mike and Harriet, they're found impaled together with a drill bit at 1 hour and 8 minutes. 14 is Hollis, who's shot twice in the head with a nail gun. 2 minutes, that's at 1 hour and 10 minutes. 7 minutes later, you have Howard, who's the 15th death. His body is found hung, his head severed. Which, that's one that you don't see. 16 is Patty. She gets a pickaxe to the gut.
Hollis and Patty were the only people I really liked in this movie.
And that was at 1 hour, 22 minutes. Then 17 is Axel, who's presumably bled out in the cave after cutting his own arm off. That's at the very end of the movie.
I think you got one of those wrong. The dude, Dave, he said his face was boiled to death. I think technically when you think he drowned, I don't think just no matter how long you can die from that.
You would die from that, I think.
I think you just drown first, right?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. It wouldn't feel good, but I think boiling.
I think it'd be one in
the cook in Sleepaway Camp die.
You never know. You never find that out. Okay, so the following scenes were trimmed or re-edited to avoid an X rating from the MPAA. Now, a lot of these were put back into the unedited version, but I can't remember what all was put back in, so whatever. Gore was cut from the pre-credit sequence where the woman is pushed backwards into a pickaxe. Mabel's mutilated body was originally on screen for a lot longer. In the flashback, Harry Warden is shown cannibalizing a severed arm. That's put in, I bet for sure. Yeah. In the edited theatrical release, he was shown just picking the arm up. Then there's a scene where the bartender is playing peekaboo with the Harry Warden dummy was edited so that no blood was shown. He was pickaxed up his chin and out his left eye, then dragged along the ground with his eyeball hanging out. The face boiling of Dave was shortened so you don't see the after effects while he's dying. Graphic head-on shots of Sylvia's shower impalement were deleted. I've seen that, so... Maybe it's a Mandela effect, but I feel like I've seen that. So, a stock footage close-up of the miner's light being shown at the camera replaces the bulk of a shot of Hollis's bleeding face after he has been nail-gunned. In the widely seen release, the scene picks up after Hollis is mostly turned away. So, Howard's hanging is shortened. Was shortened in the original. In the original print, he was decapitated. The decapitation was cut out, so it looks like his body just falls, stops short when the end of the wire is reached, and sprays blood all over Patty and Sarah, and then resumes falling. Not only do the cuts imposed...
that sounds awesome.
Not only do the cuts imposed render the scene senseless, but they also make it so there is no payoff to Hollis's earlier comment that Howard would lose his head if it weren't attached. The girl killed by the pickaxe near the end, Patty, was edited of all the blood.
They just call her the girl?
Yeah. The flashback of Axel's father being murdered originally showed the miners ripping out his father's heart. Axel's left... Okay, then the last one is Axel's left arm gets trapped under rocks in the cave-in at the end. He rips it off to get away, leaving his limb behind to horrify everyone else. But since the key footage of the arm removal all had to be removed itself, it's hard to see exactly what happened. So that's...
Man, I feel like this stuff would have made this movie even better.
Well, it does make it better when you watch the unedited version. And a lot of people say that. So... Trivia besides that. The budget was in Canadian dollars $2,300,000.
It's just like maple leaves and stones, right?
Yeah, it's
like $1 million real money.
It's not that much. It's not like that much less. It's not.
I don't know,
like
something costs like $8.99. Yes,
it's not a chow. It's not like a lira.
They just trade like maple syrup, don't they? Like
it's North American lira.
Yeah.
Let me see, Canadian to U.S. dollars. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Like equal now.
It's 75 cents to the dollar.
Okay.
So it's not that. Yeah. I don't think it would be.
It's something costs 30 here. It costs 40 there.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just 75 cents.
So it would be 3/4. of a dollar.
Yeah.
So something that costs $75 American would cost $100 Canadian.
Well, I'm looking. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm looking it up. So I'm looking up what I'm looking up what the actual like thing would be
in American dollars. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just can't suspend belief.
Okay, I did it backwards. So, I wanted to do it from whatever. I don't. I will right now. Shut up. Pop-ups. Okay, $1,715,927.91 in U.S. dollars.
What was the first part of that?
1,000,000.
1,000,000.
700 and something.
Oh.
Okay, so it made in U.S. dollars $5,672.31.
Well, you had that
$672.31. Yes, 70. So this is interesting. So when the people that were making this movie found the town they wanted to make the movie in, the mine was perfect. It was exactly how they wanted it to be. It had been abandoned for a long time.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want to make this movie here. So the townspeople got real excited, and they spent $50,000 cleaning it up. And so they had to.
But they didn't want it after it was clean.
So the people came in and they were like, "Well, fuck, this is what we chose. They're going to let us use it." So they had to spend $75,000 to return the mine to its original abandoned condition.
Oh man.
Yeah. Only certain lighting used in the mines because of potential.
They spent more money to remess it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like that O. Henry story.
Kind of, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
What a twist.
Plot twists. So
the OG O. Henry.
It's like Guy Maupassant.
Only certain lighting was used in these mines because of potential danger of methane explosions, so they had to be careful.
Oh, that shit's real?
Yeah.
Damn.
The director, George Mihalka, I don't know if that's Mihalka, threw up.
That's a Canadian
He actually
name.
threw up at one of the gore effects. I don't know which one it was. But
I've never seen it.
the mine is now a park/museum.
The awesome song at the end, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's awesome.
Ballad
The Ballad of Harry Warden. I already said Paul Zaza wrote the music. He did not write the Ballad of Harry Warden. No, I don't think. This is Quentin Tarantino's favorite slasher, so
good on you, Q.
I didn't see many feet in it. I only heard somebody talk about legs.
That must be in the director's cut.
So the director approached Paramount in 2001 about doing a sequel, but because of the original box office records, they declined. However, they did do
after he dies.
But they did do a remake in 2009. So I don't know who did it.
Wasn't it that one in 3D?
So 5 to 9 minutes was cut, or no, that was just the movie Valentine was 3D, which was different.
I thought that was the whole gimmick. It was like they were throwing the axe on the poster and shit. It was like in 3D.
It might have been, but I think Valentine was in 3D, which was another I don't know movie that came out around the same time. 5 to 9 minutes was cut originally because it was released shortly after John Lennon's death, and there was backlash against violent movies. Friday the 13th.
He wasn't pickaxed to death.
Would fall during the set. I don't
John
know.
Lennon dies in mining accident.
So the identity of the killer was kept secret from the entire cast, even the killer, even Axel.
I tell you what, if Chuck Norris was the sheriff in this movie would
did you not hear what I said? No, clearly you didn't hear what I said because you gave away the movie immediately. The identity of the killer was kept secret from the entire cast, including Axel. Axel didn't even know he was the killer. Until the end.
That's good. That's smart.
The director,
can tell he didn't know.
That's not a Canadian name. He was born in Hungary.
I am too.
He did 14 episodes of MTV's Undressed, which was a show I really liked back in the day. Lori Haller, who played Sarah, she was in a lot of Hallmark movies. She was in a lot of TV movies in general. She was in that fucking awesome Woman Scorned, the Betty Broderick story.
You're talking about Sarah?
Yeah. She was in a lot of really famous TV movies. That Betty Broderick one has the mom from Family Ties in it.
Okay.
Meredith Baxter.
Nice.
And Betty Broderick like killed her ex-husband anyway. Okay, she was in one episode of the RoboCop TV series, 16 episodes of Santa Barbara. She was in 48 episodes of Days of Our Lives. Neil Affleck, who played Axel, was in Visiting Hours. He was in Scanners. He directed 7 episodes.
Mike and Axel were both in Scanners.
Yeah, he was in he directed 7 episodes of The Simpsons.
Really?
Dang.
And he was the timing director. I don't know what the timing director is, but he was the timing director of the Simpsons movie. Keith Knight, who played Hollis.
Is that the one with Spider Pig?
I don't know. Keith Knight, who played Hollis, was in Meatballs, The Care Bears, Adventures in Wonderland. He was the voice for he did voices for the Beetlejuice animated series and Babar.
Wait, you're talking about Hollis or the cop?
Hollis.
Because the Chief was also in Beetlejuice, the cartoon.
Okay.
But Class 1984 with Hollis as well.
Al Humphreys, who played Howard, was in First Blood.
And Ernest Rides Again.
And he's also done all the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies.
Oh,
he's in,
those are
all
big,
those.
man.
Yeah.
Kids love that Wimpy Kid.
Cynthia Dale, who played Patty, was in Moonstruck. And she was married to Peter Mansbridge, who was a famous actor in Canada. So I don't care. Okay. Sylvia, the girl who played Sylvia, was in 73 episodes of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Damn.
And The Dead Zone. Carl Moreau, who played Dave. He did stunts for Land of the Dead.
Really? Mm-hmm. Huh.
Don Franks, who's Chief Newbie, was in I'm Not There.
And Deathbed.
He played
he was in Deathbed. Have you fucking seen Deathbed?
He was in Heavy Metal. He did.
Boys. Yeah. And Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Dude, Beetlejuice is spawned by...
Oh, that Dylan movie is I'm Not There. I was like, what the fuck am I doing to write down?
Oh, TJ's in fucking Black Roses, man.
And I have the producer he also produced Buffalo. You are right, My Bloody Valentine was in 3D. Because he produced the My Bloody Valentine remake, which is My Bloody Valentine 3D. So you're right. And he also did Buffalo 66 and Meatballs. Andre Link was also...
Was Meatballs in 3D?
Yeah.
Hollis was in Meatballs.
He did the same. I said that. Larry Nessis, he was an associate producer. He also produced Videodrome and Heavy Metal.
Okay, yeah. Canadian connection. Mabel Osborne, that old lady that got dried, she was in all the Anne of Green Gables movies.
Put it in my Cronin hole.
And Happy was the guy who was in Black Christmas. And motherfucker.
Who was he in Black Christmas?
He's just a Surge Party member.
Okay, well, this has been an hour and 11 minutes.
Hey, it's worth it, man. This is a classic. I rank it.
I'm going to go out there and say a good 8 to 10 minutes of that had nothing to do with this movie. It was just weird talk about something that doesn't matter.
Mary Fuck Kills?
That, the dollar exchange between this and Canada. I mean,
well, I was tired of you saying it was
Canadian's
maple
my favorite
syrup.
foreign country.
It's Canada, Mike.
Oh. It's Moosehead.
They don't call it. No one calls it Canadian.
That blue.
Do not do that.
You
Canadian bear. I can't do it.
A Canadian bird, my friend.
Nick, what do you rate this
I'm
movie?
from Canada.
I rate it 2.5 stars.
Mike
2.5?
I give it also 2. I think I give it 2 to 2.5.
Mike's had a gummy, so he's in the
Mike
stratosphere
hasn't shut
right
the
now.
fuck up since he got here. So
I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, yeah.
I love My Bloody Valentine. And I'm going to go back tonight and watch it with all the extended scenes.
Yeah, if you can get on.
Do you guys think you would like this more if it was like the way they intended it to be before the X rating?
No, I remember watching it unedited.
But what if it was that way the first time you watched it? Can you imagine?
I don't think the gore would have upped it for me.
It didn't up it for me because
I love these kids.
When I watched it,
I wish I was Canadian.
When I watched it, actually, I liked it more this time than the time I watched it when I thought, I'm going to like it more because everyone said you're going to like it more when you watch it with all these scenes that were edited out.
Did you like it any less because it was a little bit longer?
No, I just didn't. I felt the same about it. I'm just kind of about it. I don't hate it. I don't think it's terrible.
It could use some more titties.
But I actually liked it more this time just because I knew what I was getting into. I knew there was going to be a little bit of camaraderie. I knew what I was about to watch, so I was a little more prepared mentally for. So I had low expectations, so it ended up being better than I expected. So, anyway, stay gagged on a pickaxe.
Stay gagged on Ross Perot's ears.
That was a stupid conversation.
Stay gagged on a moose head beer.
On a moose head. Yeah.
Stay gagged on a human heart in a chocolate box. On a box of chocolates.
Stay gagged on a hot dog face boiling.
Stay gagged on a heart-shaped box in utero.
Stay gagged on Nirvana. Stay gagged on my
Valentine's.
Stay gagged on the band.
Stay gagged on like Kurt Cobain did.
Stay gagged on Loveless by My Bloody Valentine.
If you don't have a Valentine, you can always be an bisexual.
And stay gagged on Valentine's Day because it's a gaggy to me. It makes me want to throw up.
It's just another day.
Yeah.
Man, I had some cool.
It's just if you get
so stay gagged on all our social media: Instagram, TikTok, Gag Me with a Knife podcast. Twitter, Gag Knife Pod. Become a Patreon for member shoutouts, fan requested epides, bonus exclusives. This will have cut by the time this comes out. I will have drawn. Fan requested movies, member shoutouts, bonus episodes.
Hi Marlene, hi Katie, hi.
Bonus episodes and early access to episodes. Katie, you're a bitch. Happy Valentine's Day. And we'll see y'all next time when we're going to be talking to Chuck Norris. We're not going to talk to him.
Chucky Norris is going to do a tippy tap kick.
He's coming, though.
Once upon a time, on a sad Valentine, in a place known as Hanniger Mine, a legend began. Every woman and man would always remember the time, and those who remained were never the same. You could see the fear in their eyes. Once every year, as the 14th draws near, there's a hush all over the town. Or the legend they say on a Valentine's Day is a curse that'll live on and on, and no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago. "20 years came and went, and everyone spent the 14th in quiet regret, and those still alive know the secret survives in the darkness that looms in the night. For the legend they say on a Valentine's Day is a curse that'll live on, and no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago. In this little town, when the 14th comes round, there's a silence and fear in the air. Remember the morn that the legend was born, all the shock and the horror was there. Or the legend they say on a Valentine's Day is a curse that'll live on, and no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago. And no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago.